music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, reportedly now the target of a federal investigation that handles human trafficking crimes. Law enforcement could be seen at two homes that he owns, one in the Miami, Florida area, the other in Los Angeles. A source saying the music mogul is the subject of a federal investigation after allegations involving sex trafficking, sexual assault, illegal drugs, weapons, comes amid a number of lawsuits that have been filed against Sean Combs since November. He has not issued any statements since these raids happened. In fact, it's not even clear where he currently is. Last seen in the Miami area, he is among the biggest and the most influential producers and executives in the world of hip-hop over the past 30 years. Formerly known as Puff Daddy, he has built one of hip-hop's biggest empires. All right, joining me now is Tre Lovell. He's an entertainment corporate attorney at the Lovell firm. They're based in Los Angeles. Tre, thanks for taking time for us here in Canada. Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
All right, what's the takeaway here of these raids? What do you think?
Serious. I mean, they seem to follow similar allegations that were made in the civil lawsuits that were made against Diddy Combs, and it just seems to be taken it to a much larger level. The fact that they would raid two homes at the same time shows that time was of the essence, and they needed secrecy and surprise. They did not want him destroying documents. They did not want him compromising the evidence. So they had a multitask force, and they did this, simultaneously, and they had significant manpower over there. So, and I believe people were arrested, possibly his sons. So this is not something to take lightly. They're very serious about this.
Yeah, tell me about the larger investigation, Tre, as best as you understand. And I appreciate that there's a lot of stuff we do not know here. But when you hear about a big sex trafficking investigation, what does that say?
So we were given a preface of this, through the civil litigation, because there were allegations made that he was sexual trafficking. He was accusing him of rape, assault, sexual assault, things like that. And sexual trafficking is basically the coercion, forcing somebody to participate in a sex act against their will, to receive some benefit, food, roof over the head, things like that. It's a very serious crime here in the United States. And there seems to have been, at least through the civil lawsuits, numerous actions, numerous times that he did it or allegedly did it, and which probably prompted, the criminal probe. And I believe that there were even some allegations, by one of his employees that also had sued him, that he actually was having sexual trafficking parties. So this just takes it a serious notch above. We don't really know exactly, what evidence they have. We assume he's the target, but we don't know for sure. A lot of unknowns, but it's an extremely serious offense.
We know that, some of these allegations he is vociferously denied. He has settled, though, at least one lawsuit out of court the day after that was first brought against him. How long does an investigation like this usually take? I know it's a tricky question, given the scope of this, but what's your read, Tre?
It can take a while. And depending on how long the investigation goes, that kind of will guide, information that is given to the press and to the public. They're not going to do anything that's going to compromise the investigation. They're going to take their time, but they also realize that witnesses, documents, things like that can disappear, memories can fade. So they're going to work diligently. But it seems like, this is well planned by Homeland Security. And I would assume we would expect some information fairly quickly, if not indictments.
You are an entertainment lawyer, including a corporate lawyer as well. But let me ask you, the fact that we're talking about, Sean Combs and the effect that has, just, his fame, his fortune, and the fact that he's just huge in the music business.
Yeah, it just rhymes. It just seems to simulate the Harvey Weinstein type situation. We kind of been down this road that we started, promulgated the Me Too movement, and it just seems to be a continuation of that. But it shows the power that leaders in entertainment have. People working under them, are aspiring artists, want to be part of the big company. They'll do anything, including women, in terms of pleasing, their bosses. So, there's a lot of problems that associated with the entertainment industry, and it's just buttoned up with what's happening here.
Does a series of raids necessarily lead to an arrest for this, Tre?
Not necessarily, but most likely. I mean, you have to have significant probable cause to go and raid somebody's home. Here in the United States, a home is considered our castle. And before a judge is going to allow authorities to invade your castle, they have to have a lot of evidence, a lot of probable. Assuming the evidence and going to this extent, it will usually lead to indictments. Who, we're not really sure. Sometimes it'll lead to indictments of some smaller figures, which will eventually lead to bigger figures. There's a whole strategy behind that too. But I would not be surprised if we do find some indictments behind what's happening here.
Tre Lovell joining us from Los Angeles. He is an entertainment corporate lawyer. Good to see you. Thanks for taking some time helping us make sense of the story today here in Canada, Tre.
Thank you so much.